Good evening, everybody. This is Captain Tinsley with Salty Abandon and the Salty Podcast, episode number 28. I have a wonderful guest tonight from the UK. His name is Luke, and he has a boat called Sailing with Storm. So I'm going to bring him out right now. Good evening, Luke.
Hi there. Hello, Captain Tinsley. Thank you for having me on your show.
Yes, thank you for agreeing to do this. It's we're on a little early this evening because Luke is 6 hours ahead. And so what is it, 9 o'clock? It sure is light there for being 9 o'clock.
It is. It's 9 o'clock, and considering it always comes out a little bit brighter on my phone, but it doesn't look like it. But there's actually like storm clouds over there and up ahead. We're in the
Well, it looks like it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon there.
It does. We do get quite a lot of sun here. We are the furthest point like south in England, in Brighton, but it's I'd give it another 45 minutes. We'll start to dim down a bit.
Okay, so I found you very interesting. I found you on TikTok, and I saw that you were restoring a 45-foot boat, which I learned later was a say it so I don't.
Jono.
Yeah, that's right.
Same like Beneteau, Jono and Beneteau, they're like sister companies. Yeah, Jono, that's it.
Okay, and it's a 1989.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's like Sun Magic.
What was that?
It's a Sun Magic. The model of it is a Sun Magic. So it has a centerboard that rocks down. It does, which gives me endless hassle.
Okay. Well, and I also saw that you were raising your daughter on the boat, and I was a little confused because I figured out from your actually we're getting some wind coming through your speakers there. So
yeah. It's howling through all the shrouds and all the halliards of all the other yachts around me. It is whistling around me.
Okay, yeah, whistling. That your daughter is named Storm. I figured it out finally, and your boat is named Storm.
Correct. So, yeah, I named my daughter after my boat. No, I'm joking. The other way around.
You already told me that's not the case.
Yeah.
So, where did you get the name Storm for your daughter? And she's so cute.
Oh, she is. She's a delight. 90% of the time. But yeah, I've always just been very nautical, and I've always liked quite earthy names. And if we were going to have a boy, we're either going to call him Ocean or Atlas. And for a girl, it was either going to be Storm or River. And so, yeah.
Here she is. I mean, I just fell in love with her. She is just so adorable and fearless. And I just love that you're.
She has no fear. She has absolutely no fear. And I think she just knows I'm always there to catch her if she's going to fall. So she's always leaping towards me, especially she likes to do it when I'm not looking. So, yeah, there she is.
Just adorable. So that I just see a little in the video that I put up, the teaser video. I called her your first mate.
Yes. Yeah. No, I like that. I do. I call her my first mate as well. She's my life. She's kind of like the spitting image of me, poor girl. And she's just like me in every way. She is, and she's got the same colour hair as I used to have when I was her age. My hair's gone a bit more auburn, a bit darker over the years. But my hair was a similar colour to hers when I was her age.
Well, she's adorable, and I just can't wait to see what you guys are gonna do in the future. You know, how the trips and all. I know we will get into that because I am going to ask that, but I just want to make sure I have. Okay, somebody said. I just want to respond to Dawn Blair on Instagram. She said, "I met you in Orange Beach that night before the Kenny Chesney concert at the Wharf around 4 years ago." Hey, Dawn, thanks for watching. She's watching on Instagram. But okay, when we were talking before and doing our tech test, you said you've been, well, actually I saw it in your video, 32 years of sailing. I mean, you're not that old.
No, well, I'm 37 now. So my grandfather got me into sailing when I was about 5. I started crewing for him on his Enterprise, and he tried out sailing with all his grandchildren, and I was the only one that really kind of got the bug for it. So anyway, he realised I got the bug for it, and it was something that he was enthusiastic about. My parents were too busy to kind of give me too much time. They're both self-employed, so he just put me through all my sailing courses, bought my little dinghies and stuff for me to start sailing in and racing in, and eventually I was competing all around the country and then across to Europe and stuff in lasers abroad, and toppers in the UK, in the national squad and regional squad before that and stuff. So yeah.
So say again, how old were you when you first started?
5. So, and that was just crewing with my granddad, just sitting with him in his Enterprise, and he was telling me how to work the jib and to do the centerboard. And then how to move my body, try and balance the boat, even though I would have been about like 2 stone and knee high to a grasshopper. So it was about when I was 6, I started doing my RYA stages. So Royal Yachting Association, like level 1, then level 2, level 3, and then my racing qualifications and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't know that you had to have racing qualifications.
So I don't have.
I'm ignorant. Sorry.
No, it's just courses. Just courses you can go on to help teach you. You got to do certain things and learn how to like kite the boat, like lean the boat to windward, to get the boom up a bit, get the sail a bit higher, and makes it go that little bit faster, reduce drag on the hull, and stuff like that. But when you're a good dinghy sailor, you make an awesome yacht sailor because you know how to trim a sail to perfection. So, well, that's what they say anyway in England.
That's what I've always heard. Yeah, I started on a Catalina 25. That's my first boat. So,
wow.
It was a good boat.
Yeah. Oh, my first boat was about 7 foot long, so it was probably like 2.5 meters. Like, it was a topper. It was my first boat, and that was my fondest sailing days. Were in my topper. Those little things were indestructible. And I was just at an age where I had loads of great friends, and we're all competing against each other and with each other and supporting each other. And they were just glorious days. They were really fun days. So, yeah.
Well, so that answers the question, what sparked your passion for sailing? Was your grandfather?
Yes. Yeah, a big inspiration in my life.
Is he still around?
No, he passed about 10 years ago. He did, so, quite unfortunate, but it's the way it is. But I know he'll be looking down on me, and I'm
shout out to grandfather. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
So I already asked you about the name, the name of the boat, and you said that you like the earthy names. That's why you named your daughter. Now I understand that you have been restoring the boat. And what are some of the major repairs and upgrades you've made so far? How long have you had her?
I've had her coming up to 2 years now. So I've had all the sails sent off, and then kind of like patch new UVs, new UV. Oh, I forgot what it's called. Strip down the leech of the sail, and then all the wood, all the teak on board was. I'll lean the camera down. Let's see. I've got restored all the colour. It used to be just like hideously grey, just sun bleached. I'm just going to put this back in here. And so it's gone really. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Gimbal is readjusting itself.
While you're doing that, I want to answer this question. We got a question here from YouTube. What part of the UK is Luke from? I'll let you answer that.
Brighton. So the very we're down south in England, and on the south coast, Brighton. So
I looked it up on Google Maps. It's like right there on the English Channel.
Yeah, that's it. And we get absolutely smashed by southwesterly winds daily. The weather's atrocious in England at the moment. It has been for 2 years. We get these southwesterlies that come right up the channel. And I mean, right now I'm in about 30 to 35 knots of wind. It might not look it, or you might hear the whistling of all the shrouds and the halyards in the background.
Yes.
But it's. I mean, just pan around slightly here. You might see
The water looks pretty
reflections
calm, and the boats aren't. I don't see them rocking. How do they stay so calm in there?
Well, we're coming. The tide's come down now, so yeah, we're coming down to like low water, and there's two massive arms that come out, and they're approximately 20-25 foot high currently. Obviously, as the tide rises and falls, as it falls, they get bigger. I've also got some massive flats over to one side of me that are kind of shielding me. So they are helping to some extent.
Okay. Well, I do want to bring your attention to Sailing and Faith. The people that just answered, shout out to them because I interviewed them on the podcast. It's a family of 5 in the Bahamas. Sailing, they have to have a lot of faith to do that. 3 teenagers.
Wow.
So you might want to follow them on YouTube or Facebook or something because
they have great.
They have great secrets for educating the kids on the boat and everything.
Oh, fantastic! So, yeah, no, I'd like to get to know this. This is something in the near future. I'm looking to change my passport to an Irish passport because I've got a British passport at the moment, and obviously we had Brexit, unfortunately, and now I can only have 90 days in Europe. So my mum was born in Dublin, in Ireland. So now I
was wondering if you were Irish. I was wondering because of the red hair and everything.
Yeah, I'm quarter Irish. I am. So I've got my mum was born in Dublin. So I'm going to apply for a Irish passport and have a dual citizenship, and then I'm free to stay in Europe for as long as I want. And so hopefully the baby's coming my way soon. So and then I'm going to flit about between Caribbean and America.
With good. Okay, so Sailing and Faith, Stephen, the husband, he is from Manchester, and I had them on the podcast. You'll have to go back. I'll send you that episode. Okay. So I appreciate you giving us that information, Sailing and Faith. Feel free to ask any other questions. So let's see, where was I? Sometimes we get interrupted by questions, but I always love them. I always love them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It was going on about other jobs that I was on board, maybe other big jobs.
Yes, right.
So I've replaced all the lines, all the sheets. That was quite an expense. Had to have a new lifeboat, life raft on board, all the pumps, all the taps. The taps were I didn't have to, but the taps were hideous. They're this horrible yellow colour, and they all got starting to flake and blister with corrosion. But anyway, I've replaced them all for like stainless steel. All the sockets inside are now stainless steel as well, all the power sockets with USB. All the light bulbs now to LEDs, and all the lamps that fixed to the walls. They're 12 volt, but they've also got a USB point in them as well. So I think this boat boasts about 18 12 volt USB points, and it has 9 AC USB points. So a bit USB crazy, but when you're kind of doing TikToks and stuff like that, I've just been able to go live on TikTok, hitting over 1,000 followers, etc. I can go live and I can go out to sea and stay near the coast, and I can go live, and but I need to have my phone on charge for it, otherwise the battery just drains, as I found out yesterday.
Yeah. I was watching, just for the viewers, I was watching you do a live, and I just happened to be on TikTok when you did it. So I was like following you along on Google Maps. You were kind of giving a tour of the coastline, and so I followed along, kind of see where you were. I had no idea where you were. And I was surprised at how beautiful the water is.
It is. It can be a little bit murky because we've got quite a lot of chalk knocking around here. So we've got all the white cliffs all the way from just on the edge of from where we are now. We've got behind there's flats. There's massive flats behind me. I can't zoom in, but behind those flats are white cliffs. They're all chalk. But when you look down on the water from a high cliff top, the sea looks this like beautiful turquoise colour. But it's not clear at all. It's normally because it's kind of like it normally be kind of more of a navy colour, but then because there's chalk, that's kind of getting washed up with
Oh,
all the
okay.
swell and
Well,
everything.
I don't know if
It makes it lighter.
did we mention Brighton Marina? I don't know if we actually said that.
Oh no, we
So if
haven't.
people wanted to
No.
and tell about the Brighton Marina that a
Yes.
couple
So
interesting facts about that.
yeah, Brighton Marina, believe it or not, is the largest marina in Europe.
Yeah.
It's quite extensive. There are a hell of a lot of boats here. There's about 450 liveaboards here. But one of the major issues with this place is that it silts up, and they can't clear the silt faster than it can build up. Basically, in here, there's you get obviously with these storms, these gales that we constantly have through the inlet, through the harbour entrance, quite a lot of silt comes in. Obviously, you've got people going to the toilet in here, etc. I know it's probably a bit crude, don't want to know that, but
No, what?
obviously no
Hate that.
paper goes down and nothing goes. It's only obviously whatever goes through goes back out through the boat, but they're only allowed to dredge. They've got a quota of how much they can take out of the marina each year. They can't just keep on dredging, just taking all the silt out and just dumping it out there. Even though it's all kind of organic, they can only dredge X amount of tonnage, and then that's it. They have to stop, and unfortunately, more than that comes in each year. So I don't know. They're trying to keep on top of it the best they can, but it's
Yeah,
in
the my teaser video, it showed your boat in there sitting on the bottom.
yeah, that's it. It's
Oh
not very
boy.
good at all. It's really not. So there's only a handful of places that the bigger yachts can stay in, and that's one of them. But it was one of the last places that it's now been dredged, and I'm not in that spot now. I've been relocated, but I will be going back there because that's where all the bigger sailing boats hang out. I'm now kind of with medium kind of size boats, like some 30, 35 footers knocking around all around me. So whilst they just dredge there, and then I'll be going back there.
Well, Sailing and Faith said they just found you on TikTok and they're following you now. And I did put up
Thank you.
your handle for TikTok right there. So anything else on the upgrades? I think you've done even more than that than what we've already talked about. There's
So
there's
much.
a lot.
It just doesn't end. I mean, just there's lots of replacing of like mooring lines, the spring lines. I've put I mean, I've put a new radio in, new speakers because they were completely utterly destroyed. Deck lights, they weren't in before, but I've put new deck lights in. They're just one. I love my deck lights. So let's see if I can angle them down. You can see them down there. Other things, all the mattresses I've replaced inside. They're just old. They're quite thin, and I could feel my shoulder blades were like touching the wooden panels underneath. So I've got some fresh memory foam, 6-inch thick memory foam opposed to the 4-inch it had before. Put 6-inch in, and then got all the material and then took it to a seamstress, and she's made them. Obviously, I've had every single mattress is bespoke. It's not just like a small double or single. They're all crazy shapes, as we all know from the sailing world. So yeah. Use the old ones as templates. Water pump, bilge pump, fridge, motor. I said about all the lights, all the carpets I've replaced. One upgrade that I've done that I really love is in the lounge. I have taken the fixed 2 table legs out. There's a fixed table in there before, and I've taken out the fixed legs that were bolted to the ground, and then I've sunken in I don't know what to call them. They're like little plates that sit on the ground with a little cup, and then legs can then be put into them, and then you put the same thing on the underside of the tabletop, and then you've got a removable table. But then how I've also evolved this is that I've also made some short legs that go in their place, and then the tabletop will sit down below the cushion, just below the cushions, at the height that the cushions sit on the wooden framework, and then I've had some cushions made that go in there, and then it makes the saloon into another double bed. So I've made it from a 6 berth to an 8 berth, and that bed is absolutely huge. And I actually have it set up all the
I
time.
lost,
For my little daughter, she just loves to crash around. And there's a vid. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh
lost
no,
you.
it's gone.
Can you hear
Oh no,
me?
am I back? Yes, I can hear you now. You had gone, but now you're back again. Can you hear me? Okay. No. Oh no, have I gone?
Oh, there you are. Gotcha.
I'm back.
Oh, you're good
Am I
now.
back?
You're good.
I
Yeah.
have a feeling there was
Yeah.
something to the signal because of this storm. I was having issues earlier trying to get half decent signal, so it could be that.
Well, I have a
interference.
question about the beds. You really anticipate having 8 people on the boat?
Maybe during the day, maybe a couple of
Maybe it's good
adults
for
and 6 children, but
maybe good for
so,
resale when you do sell it, because you did
yeah,
talk about selling it, which I was kind of sad. But
I know
tell
it
us
is
about
kind of
that. Like
sad.
you don't think this is your forever boat?
No, it won't be my forever boat just because I'd like to have a little bit more space. I mean, it's beamy. This boat has got 14-foot beam on it. She's got some big hips, this old girl. But she's got she's got also got beautiful back end because it tapers in really nice. We all know that the older models, they taper in nicely at the back. It needs to point upwind quite nicely, whereas the more modern boats now are getting more luxurious inside, and they want to create more space. So from the midship all the way back down to the stern, it's kind of straight, and so you might have a 14-foot beam in the middle, but then you've also got nearly a 14-foot stern as well. But that does really affect your upwind sailing, and obviously the drag to an extent. But it depends. If you want to race, fantastic. If you want to get from A to B fast, if you've got a lot of upwind sailing, but none of us like to sail upwind for too long. That's the hard slog. So anyway, anyway, I just either like to keep a monohull and go have a bit wider at the back for living space, because I've got my catamaran for racing. I race my dinghy, a Dart 18 that I race on Sundays. I love that thing. It goes like nearly 30 knots. You're just flying by the seat of your pants all the time. It's wicked. But this is just for leisure, for living and leisure. So just get a little bit more room, and also it's just older, so it needs a bit more TLC. Although I love being on top of all the work on it, and I love doing. It's like a hobby. The boat, doing it up. So hobby. I know it is literally a full-time hobby, but I just think something slightly newer. It'd be just maybe a little bit less work. So I've done things like the ignition panel on here, put a new ignition panel. The old one, all the terminals had corroded. A lot of the electrical cabling on board is going to be slightly corroded and will be needing replacing slowly but surely here and there. And with the newer boats, it's less years of corrosion. So
so it's ongoing. It's just ongoing.
Constant. Well, but I enjoy it. But also, it had 7 years of neglect, basically. So that was its biggest downfall, where it didn't have anything done to it because of the previous owners.
Are you planning on taking this boat to the Mediterranean? Because I know we talked about you.
Actually, I'm in two minds, because it's got a blue hull. It attracts sunlight. It attracts the sun. The darker the hull, the hotter it's going to be inside. And I'm very aware that it could just cook me inside during the summer. It could just be uncomfortable. I know there's various things that you can get to increase the airflow inside. But ideally, I need to go for a lighter coloured hull.
And you mentioned a solution to
wrapping it.
Wrapping
the hull. So that is, if I don't sell it, I'm going to wrap the hull. Have a vinyl wrap put on.
Is it going to be like something fancy, or is it just one color, or what are you going to have? You're going to sailing the storm, and then pictures of your daughter.
I think I'll go. What I want to get some kind of pearlescent kind of hull, something that's really kind of like a twin color vinyl. So as it goes past, it kind of changes color. Because it's and then also you can get it with. It's got repels water, so you can see clips. There's clips of various products being sold, or like bonnets, see a bonnet of a car, then they're showing you when they spray water on it, it forms droplets and all the water runs off of it. You can have that wrap put on the boat, and it actually makes you faster. It does. So because it repels
Nice.
the water, and you actually go through the water a bit quicker. So there's a little top tip for any like pro racer who wants to have a sneaky advantage out there. So yeah.
Well, let me ask,
that is,
what's it like living on the boat with your daughter?
so, oh, it's lovely. I mean, she's just, whenever I go somewhere, we go to a park and we're in there for half an hour or something, she'll then start, like, she'll come up to me and she'll be like, boat, just tagging on, and then going to the exit of the park. She just wants to be on the boat. She just, like, because I've got a swing set up on the back.
Right.
So I'll show
Yeah.
you guys a swing. So the davits, who would have known that davits
Yeah.
would double up as, hang on, I'm gonna have to take the phone out, and then it's gonna go all crazy on me the next time.
I've seen people have hammocks on the davits, so definitely
Mine
works
aren't
for a
quite
swing.
wide enough.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but
gosh.
a swing on the back. It's so sweet, and I'll just sit there on the wash deck on the back, and then just push her. And it's her favourite space on the whole boat. She'll be like, it'll be raining outside, and she'll still want to go on it. So
do you
and then
think she has this? Do you think she has the same interest as you? I know she's. How old is she? She like 2
she's
or
2.5. Yeah, she's
okay?
2.5.
Do you think she'll have
And
the same interest?
I think because she's going to be immersed. I don't know. You could go one of two ways. It could be like too much. Sorry, my phone's going to probably go a little bit crazy because there we go. And then I'm going to spin it. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Back in the gimbal. So it could go one of two ways. It could have a repeller, or it could go. It's more at the moment. She's leaning very much towards it. Her favourite films are like Luca and Disney films. You've got Luca and you've got Moana, and she has just been obsessed with both of them. I think because she can obviously relate to it quite a bit. It feels
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah, she can just relate to it, I suppose. And I always call her Moana and stuff, and it always puts a little smile on her face. So yeah, she really is a delight. But,
I love all the videos. I mean, she definitely looks happy. And okay, so I have another question about Storm, your daughter. What do you think she's learned from living on the boat with you, and how it's impacted her lifestyle? I mean, it's got to be an advantage. Like she's not, she's going to be a tough kid. That's not going to be a whiny baby.
Yeah, that's
what
it.
I think.
That's it. No, yeah, it is. It definitely tough. I mean, that you'll see if you go quite far back in my clips, you'll see when she was just like a year old, she was climbing up the companionway. It's damn nearly vertical, and she's climbing up. She's been practicing for ages. We'd have to watch her and kind of be there to kind of catch her. She was gonna like, she'd never fall. She'd always be like, help. She would say help, kind of thing. So I would take her off, kind of, and then she'd just try again. But anyway, she was climbing up that from an early age. And, she's a fantastic climber. She has just got this natural awareness, and she just respects the water. You'll see in all the clips I've got of her, she walks just straight down the middle of the pontoons. When we're going to the
always has her hand on the boat.
Yeah. She's always holding on. I've always tell her to hold on and stuff. She's always done that from very little. She's just got this survival instinct. Well, I don't know survival. She's just got this natural awareness to be
nice,
aware of the water,
yeah.
And she just always had it. She's just a natural, really. I mean, other parents, when they bring their kids down here, they'll be a bit older, same age or a bit older. And if the kids are going near the water, the parents are like, no, you can't do that. Just because Storm's doing that doesn't mean you can do that, kind of thing. But I think some parents can just be a little bit too. I'm quite relaxed. I'm maybe a bit too relaxed.
You're always close by, though.
Yeah, I am always close by, and
does she know how to swim yet?
Yeah. She
I'm being nosy.
Yeah, she does. I had her swimming from she was 6 weeks old when I first started taking her swimming, and she had a swim class every week.
Oh, good.
So
That's
yeah,
smart.
every week she goes for swimming. We did stop for a little bit, but yeah, she's still going every week now. I get to up the road
All
and
right.
go for a swim.
Now we're 30 minutes in, so I need to introduce tonight's sponsor, which is me. So let me just do my quick. In case you didn't know, my name is Tinsley Myrick. I'm with Remax of Orange Beach on the Alabama Gulf Coast. I'm licensed in Alabama and Florida. So I sell Gulffront condos and homes and non-waterfront too. And here's me on my boat. See, I made a little ad out of it. Tinsley Myrick, Remax of Orange Beach. And I also do the Getting Beachy podcast, Real Estate and Lifestyle, and that's on Thursday nights. It's not every Thursday night, but I have plenty of episodes already uploaded. So if you want to learn about the area, please just tune in to Getting Beachy podcast at Getting Beachy podcast on any of the social medias. Thank you for letting me do that. And all right, so let's go to. I always like to ask, because people, when they watch, they want to know where people anchor. Like they want to know the secret places, so if they ever go there, they'll know where. Cut to the chase, like your top 2 anchorages in that area.
Oh, I mean, I love to anchor just in between the piers of Brighton.
Okay.
I love to anchor there just because it's a real short journey to all the bars. So I just get my tender out, just motor across, and then go to the pub, to go to the bars, and there's just so much going on the beach front. It's just alive down there with...
I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up on Google Maps.
Yeah, there's not Madeira Drive, but it's a bit further along. In between the West Pier and Brighton Pier, the promenade, just up from the beach, and it is absolutely alive with bars, clubs, cafes, restaurants, art studios, pubs.
So here's the marina. This is your marina. Yeah. Look how big that is. Mm-hmm. So it's Brighton Marina, and then you're talking about.
There's the inner harbour. There's the inner harbour. For people that didn't notice, if you go north, you can see all the turquoisey water, but can you see behind there's like darker water? There's the normal colour of the water. Can you see just to the north, behind? If you put your cursor up a little bit up,
right here?
A little bit up,
there.
A little bit up there. That's the inner harbour. So you've got boats all inside there as well.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that. Those are like in front of condos and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's it. So people who've got the lower, or people that own flats there can have their boats basically outside.
How do you get in there? Oh, right.
So there's a lock. Yeah, that's it. That's it. The lock gate.
Okay.
There.
Wow, that's complicated. I guess it's really calm in there. It's very protected, huh? It's a lock, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and you're in here.
The water's off. Yeah, that's it. So it's tidal where I am, and then above there, it's always at a good level, so you'd never ground out like I do.
So let's go out so people can see that this is South England, and this is the English Channel right here, southeastern.
Yeah.
And so this is France over here, right?
Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. So
wow, you could easily just. It's hard to imagine Americans. Oh, I'm just going to go across the channel and go to France. How wide is the channel?
Oh, it can get up to it depends. You got Dover to Dieppe, Dover to Calais, which is I think around about 80 miles, and then from us to Cherbourg, which is kind of straight across, then it's going to about 250 miles. No, not 250. What am I talking? It's about 170. I was lying there. It's about 170, I think. So
that's a couple of days.
You can see Jersey and you got Jersey and Guernsey. They're English islands there, Jersey and Guernsey. I plan to go there later this year, well, quite soon actually. But my next trip is I'm going to France. Actually, I'm going to Dieppe. From Brighton to Dieppe, and then along to Cherbourg, and then coming back into Brighton. So Cherbourg's just
fun.
literally, it's just you're very close to Cherbourg there. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, I can see you've got some ferries.
Yeah,
some ferries
that's it.
there.
Yeah, that's it, and that's Cherbourg.
Is Jersey kind of Gaelic, kind of like is it?
Oh no, it's all English. It's all
Okay.
English speaking over there. It is so
Okay.
it's
I
it's a
thought there
lovely
was
place.
some
It's quite
sort of.
tricky.
I thought that there was some sort of Gaelic community over there somewhere. I mean, not that they speak
maybe
it,
one of
but
the other
kind of
islands.
like Wales, like a.
Yeah, well, yeah, you've got like in Wales they have got Gaelic. They have got their own language. It is dying out. They're trying to bring it back, but it really is kind of obviously just getting. It's everyone speaks English, and
Right.
it's just kind of a dying out.
Okay, so here's here are the two piers you were talking about, right?
Yeah,
you got this one, and then
Brighton Pier, and then you've got the West Pier that's burnt out. That got had an arson attack about 20 years ago.
And it says on here, it's not there, right there, remains of a Victorian pier. I was like, oh my gosh, that's cool. But I hate that it burned down.
Oh, it's beautiful. It was absolutely stunning back in the day. Had all these little pavilions dotted around it. There were boat piers that boats could pull up, moor up on it, and go out on boat trips from it. But in between both those piers, it is alive. The beach is totally alive down there with bars, restaurants, clubs, art galleries.
So you can. How close can you get to the shore? In your sailboat?
It varies. It really varies because I mean I've got my minimum draft is about 1.7 meters, and then I just have to be. I can get probably within. I would say I get within about 80 meters. I will.
Okay.
I keep an eye on the tide as I go, and then obviously I'm just aware of how much chain and line I put down for my swing for if it's changing time.
And do you have a dinghy?
About 80 meters off the beach. Yes, I've got a tender. I've got like a Zap Cat style tender.
So you come up here and go to the bars and the pubs and everything?
Yeah, that's it. I'll play around for a bit, and then during the day,
do a lot of people anchor out there at the same time?
Yeah. If it's good weather, there'll be probably. There could be up to 20 boats there on a good day.
Oh,
not
cool.
like crazy amount, but yeah, that's a great place to eat there. So I've forgotten the name of it, but
Riddle and Fins.
It's a food hall. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So if anybody wants to go to Southeast England? This is
Southeast England. Yeah.
This right here is the largest. Brighton Marina is the largest marina in Europe. That is amazing. And and there's how many liveaboards did you say?
450 liveaboards here.
Oh my gosh! So how many slip?
A hell of a lot of liveaboards. Oh god, there are. Oh, there's about 14. It's off the top of my head really, but I estimate about 1,400. I think there's about 1,400 berths around here, including the inner harbour as well. So that's the West Jetty. There you've got the West and the East Jetty. Those yellow and white buildings, those are flats. So each every time it goes white and then yellow, white, yellow, that's a different flat. They're literally 3 meters wide. They're 2 floors, but they're 3 meters wide. So they're floating. They go up and down on the tide because they're on like a first
floating
floor,
dock. A floating dock.
Yeah. It's like a floating dock. And then to get to the boats, you go down onto the ground floor, as it were, the sea level kind of pontoon, and then above it are these. You can see those arms, those joists that come up. And then
oh my gosh, this is so cool. So do people buy them individually?
Yeah, people buy them individually.
Can you buy the slip?
So you can't buy the slip. No, they're all just rented. every space is rented down here, and it's a Premier Marina here, which is the company, and they've got great facilities. So obviously they charge a great price for it.
For the slip or for the flat?
Oh, for this. Oh no. Yeah, everything. This is Brighton. So we pay in Brighton. You pay like you pay London prices.
Oh, okay.
In Brighton. So
this is cool. Do they have restaurants here? Well, it's right up.
Yeah. There's restaurants. So if they're all they're more condos. There's more flats there. If you go to the left, so if you go left,
the
on
Wall
the map,
Cafe. Go to the left.
Yeah, there's. Oh, my friend owns that. He's just taking that on. But if you keep going left, a little bit more left. Okay, from now on, this is where all the shops start. So all around here, you've got more flats, more condos there, but on the bottom floor, you've got like TGI Fridays. You've got what's the cocktail? There's
wow.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's Nando's, TGI Fridays, there's Wetherspoons, and that's beautiful. You can walk along that promenade.
Let's see if I can.
So
wow, Luke, this is a great place.
It is. It's honestly, it's fantastic. It's you literally don't actually need to ever leave Brighton Marina. It has everything here. There's a massive bowling alley here. There's a massive cinema, a massive Cineworld there, and they're all kept super modern. They're not renovated, but they facelift every couple of years. Got a massive casino down here.
Oh my
gosh. Here you go. So here you've got a little you've got McDonald's to the left. You've got that casino.
No way.
Yeah, there's a little McDonald's just on that left corner there. And then they've got the casino.
I was trying to avoid it. Oh, casino. And then, how about? Is there good seafood here?
There's good seafood. There's a fantastic Greek place here called Ado. Ado. There's a Pizza Express, Nando's, Cafe Rouge.
Oh my gosh,
loads.
There's everything here. Do you have fitness centers and gyms?
Yeah. There's a David Lloyd's, which is the fanciest gym in England. I think the membership is £130 a month. So that equates to probably, I don't know, $180, $190 a month for, but it's great. It's lovely. It's beautiful. But,
well, I'm ready to go. I wish I could get my boat, snap my fingers and have my boat there and just hang out and go anchoring and.
Yeah, no, it is. It is lovely in here. And you literally, as I say, you don't need to leave the place. It's got, and then there's if you're ever visiting, the best restaurant to go to, it's one of the only ones that's not a chain, and it's called Bella Napoli, and it's an Italian restaurant, and it's absolutely fantastic. I'm wondering whether or not I should move inside because it's getting a bit dark out here now.
I can't believe it's still. I mean, it's 9:43 there, and you still. I mean. Unbelievable. What how much darkness do you have there this time of year?
I mean, well, now it's overcast as well this evening, so I mean, it starts getting lighter around about
I forget that when you're higher up, when you're I guess latitude, closer to the North Pole, the longer it stays light.
Right? That's it. The long that is it. So, but I'll just take myself inside.
Okay.
And then you can see me a little bit better.
Yeah, I like the inside of your boat.
So I could show you guys around. As you can see, it's quite woody in here. So we've got the saloon over here. So it's got a nice sized saloon. You can obviously see that's where I can lower the tabletop and then put a low tabletop in, put the cushions on, and then I just throw my daughter there. And it's one of her favorite things is just throwing her across. She loves flying.
So Sailing in Faith is asking you a question. What is the max draft to get in there? So I'm assuming that means into the marina.
Yeah. So maximum draft. It depends on tide, obviously. So, oh god, even I bought it. Oh no, they're dredging it currently. So they dredge it every year. They dredge the harbour entrance every year. It should it should have about a 2.4 draft. At all times, it should have about 2.4 draft along the main channel. So when you come into the entrance and then you come along the main channel and get and go into the visitor moorings, it should always be 2.4. But I bottomed out.
That's about 7.5 feet.
Yes, yeah, correct. It's it depends if we're on a spring tide as well, obviously. So it can. I've bottomed out there before. So
What kind of bottom
yeah,
is it? Is it like, is it silt or
silt.
is
Yeah, just silt. Yeah, it's not
okay.
awful. It's just silt. It's not rocky
No
at all.
rocks
So
or anything?
no, no rock at all. So yeah,
We have
it's
a lot of
okay. But
sand
when
around here.
oh, if only if we, I'd love to have more sand. Then the water would be filtered a bit more, naturally filtered a bit
Yeah.
more, and it would be just
Yes.
even clearer. So because we don't have too much sand, it's not that clear. But when you have sand, you just have this beautiful clarity all the time. So you just got this natural filter system.
Sure.
So
I hadn't really
whereas
thought of
here,
that.
no, we've got chalk over here, and chalk is obviously a sedimentary stone. It's it's pretty dense, and therefore nothing filters through it basically. But it does make the water appear a lot lighter in color as it kind
Hey,
of
that's
gets
good.
kicked up. Yeah, the water always looks this beautiful turquoise color, but you pop your head in it, you can't see your hand in front of your face. So
Well,
yeah.
what is your second favorite? Do you have another favorite? Like that one's really close, that Anchorage. Do you have another one that
Oh
maybe
yeah,
is
the
a little
second
further?
Anchorage. Yeah. Okay.
I'll pull it
So,
up.
oh, it's just off of the Isle of Wight. So I go to the Isle of Wight 2 or 3 times a year. Sorry, the signal's kind
Okay.
of dropping a bit. So go to the Isle of Wight and then go
Okay.
to check out East Cowes. Or Shepherd's Marina. So it isn't the marina, but it's very close to Shepherd's Marina.
Is this, am I on the right track here near
And
Portsmouth? And
yeah,
is
let's see.
this
Yeah,
right?
so there we go. So yes, yeah, that's it. So zoom in on the north west coast of the island. Yeah, here we go. And then it's going to be a bit more to the right, so a bit higher up from Yarmouth, a bit more east of Yarmouth, which was on the north coast, a bit more. Where's your cursor? I can tell
Here's
you.
Yarmouth. Yeah. So
Um,
there's
so
Yarmouth right here.
yeah, here's Yarmouth. So if we go right a little bit, there's a little. Okay, right a bit more. Let's try and find it. I know how to sail to it absolutely fine, but then looking at it on
There's a
Google,
lot of
because I
boats
don't
right
use
here.
Google. So there's an estuary, there's an inlet. Is it more towards the right, a bit more? I think.
Oh, right here?
Ah, hang on. There's the estuary. So, maybe I was lying there. Okay, so yeah, a bit more to the. Sorry, it wasn't the. It's more. Okay, so yeah, we've got East Cowes here, and it's just going to be okay to the. Okay, let's go left. Let's go left, 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 left. Sorry, sorry. I'm going to take you to this nature reserve. That is absolutely fantastic. There's seals in there. So type.
Oh, seals.
Yeah. Where is the nature reserve? I really need my tablet so I can zoom in and tell you. So there's this
Is this
tiny
it?
little inlet. Yes, yeah, that's it. There we go. There.
Okay.
It is
I
fantastic
see
to
some
go
boats
into.
right here. I see
Yeah, yeah,
boats.
there's loads of anchorages in there. You've just got to be a little bit careful. Look out for your special markers because there can be some what would you call them? Not
Sandbars?
sandbars. Yeah, there could be some sandbars in there. It's honest, and it's so sheltered. You're so sheltered in there as well. It's and yeah, there's seals that use it. There's so much wildlife. There's so many species of birds in there that you can, if you've got binoculars with you, and you can just have a look around. But as I say, it's really sheltered.
Is
and you
this the
can
way
really
in
kind of
right
track
here?
into it. You've
Is
just
this
got
the way in right here?
yeah, that's it. And you can always, it doesn't tend to silt up too badly. Just be watching your. It's also marked. It's also got channel markers to get in. You just
Okay.
go along the channel markers and just keep watching your depth underneath you. So yeah. What would be
There's
the
the number
maximum
4
depth
buoy
in
right
there?
there.
I'm trying to think.
Buoy right there.
I'd say it's going to be you're always going to have at least 2 meters under you, at least in there. But
Oh,
it's,
that's
as I
pretty deep.
say, it's really sheltered and it's a great nature reserve.
Okay, now I'm echoing, so let me do something.
Okay. What I might do is I might go back upstairs because the signal is struggling
Okay.
a little bit, and it might just be slightly better. You're going a little bit kind of electronic on me. It's quite dark out here.
Okay, so this
There's
is our second anchorage tip of the day. It looks like it's Hampstead Heritage Coast in the National Trust Newton National Nature something or other.
nature reserve. Yeah.
Okay, so this is
Get
on
this
the
light.
northern coast of the Isle of Wight. Isle of Wight National Landscape. So it's like a national park.
Yeah, there. But obviously, it's a very small. Oh, I am glowing here. I'll just put one of my lights in front of me. I'm just like lit up. So yeah, the Isle of Wight. It's in between. You've got it's the absolute sailing mecca around between the Isle of Wight and Portsmouth. It's the sailing mecca of the UK, and there are just like on a sunny day, I'm not even joking when I say there are like thousands of boats out. There are there are so many sailing clubs with different classes of dinghies and yachts racing every Sunday, Wednesday evenings. Wednesday evening seems to be a very popular sailing. It's You've got so many sailing outlets as well, like Chandlery's, but also clothing shops, especially on the Isle of Wight. They've got but also in Gunwharf Quays in Gosport, which is next to Portsmouth and Southampton and stuff. So it's also where we have our Royal Navy are based based in Gosport, and you've got the aircraft carriers in there. They're quite often, as soon as you come in, they're the two. I think they're there on Google Maps. Both our aircraft carriers. But we overspec them. We overspec our aircraft carriers so much that we couldn't afford the planes for them. So we've got helicopters on them, but we haven't got any planes on them.
So you mentioned that you do want to come to the Caribbean.
Yes, I would love to. I want to kind of flit between the Caribbean and the Mediterranean. I do love crossing the Atlantic. It doesn't take, depends on the weather it does and how much fuel you've got to get over the doldrums. So actually, Caribbean, whereabouts? I'm trying to think of.
Storm will come with you, right? Because you can.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When it's time, I don't know if. I don't think I will take her across the channel. I don't know. Again, maybe when she's about 8, 6 to 8 years old.
You can fly her
it all
over
depends.
there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do. Is I'd have her flown over. So yeah, that's. I'm more than happy to take her across the channel. I'll be doing that quite soon, actually in July, mid to late. As early as the 20th of July, I'm going to be buddy boating with my friend Ocean on his catamaran, and he's going to be taking his family into the Mediterranean. But they're just doing a little quick, going over to France, going to Dieppe, then to Cherbourg, then they're going to go around the Bay of Biscay, and then round into the Med. And he's got his 2 kids, River and Indy. And he's going to be homeschooling them. They're going to be meeting up with some other families out there, and they're all going to
homeschool their kids together out there. So, and that's where I'm going to hopefully join them.
Well, if
So,
you're in touch with Sailing and Faith, they've been through all this, and
Sailing
it's
and Faith.
funny.
Okay, I will. I'll find them.
They took their kids out when they were a little older, and I asked them, did they want to do this? And they said no. They did not. They didn't want to leave their friends and their video games, and
Yeah.
but now they love it.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine going back to a regular school.
No, exactly. I think that's exactly the same with my friends' 2 kids who have just gone out there. Ben and Catherine, they've just got round there about 3 months ago with their 2 kids. They're a bit younger though, and they were kind of. No, I mean they've got friends over here. They still spend quite a lot of time actually. Well, because they're still quite young, they got flown over there. My friend Ben, he sailed it round there with some friends. Let's see if my light can come back on. Will it come back on? No, it's just decided.
Your lighting is pretty good. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So there we go. What was I going to say? Yeah, they've got they've taken their children around there, and their kids absolutely love it. They much prefer it than regular school. I think they are 6 and 11 are the ages. Their son's 11 and their daughter's 6, and I know that's Storm is going to be approximately 4, so she won't really. No, she'll be about 4 to 5 years old, maybe. Maybe about 4. So she'll only be just kind of starting school. She's not going to know any different. She's just going to know homeschooling with her sailing buddies, and that she's going to new friends will come in, and new classmates are going to come in, and they're going to be of different ages as well. So the older ones will look after the little ones will look up to the older ones. It works so much better. They just learn much better life skills. They mature a lot quicker when they're around. I've seen it time and time again where children are being homeschooled, and they're not just. It's not just them. I mean, some kids can go the opposite way, and they can come introverted, where they're not socializing. I'm very aware that. I mean, I love to socialize.
Yeah. Well, the guys Sailing and Faith, they told me about an app that people use in the Caribbean. That people with kids, and like you can selectively, I guess, tell a little bit about your family so other families can find you. And what I was amazed at this, like, can you imagine back home kids that sit on their phones and sit on the couch and play video games? That when a parent goes,
waste of time.
Hey parent, we have 10-year-olds and you have 10-year-olds. We'd like to get them together, and the kids actually want to do it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine in real life they would say, I'm not doing that.
No, exactly. Yeah, they just want to be playing on their phone, and it's just such a waste of life. And I just want I've never. It's just the way I am. I can't just live a little bit differently, and I've never wanted to have like an ordinary life. I've wanted to have an extraordinary life. You only live once, and what's the point in just having an ordinary life when you know that you can have an extraordinary one if you're willing to sacrifice a big house with a big mortgage and a fancy car? You can have an extraordinary life if you're willing to make a little sacrifice, which doesn't seem to be much of a sacrifice at all. Once you're in it, you can't see that actually it's more of a sacrifice going back to going into a house. You get a bigger house, you just fill it with more clutter. You want more material stuff, and keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up appearances. Whereas you have a boat, and then you're almost like famous between all your friends and stuff, because they're all like, "Oh, I've got a friend who lives on a boat," and so he has less stuff, but he's more than happy, and he has wild adventures and stuff. His life just looks amazing, and it is.
Speaking of adventures, can you tell a little bit about your racing around the world that you did?
Oh yeah, so I did the Clip Around the World yacht race. That was back in 2019 to 2021. So it went on because it got stopped halfway through because of COVID. So
They
anyway,
stopped you?
yeah,
They stopped you?
yeah,
You
they
were out
stopped.
there
We
by
got stopped in the.
yourselves?
Yeah, well, we got yeah, they stopped us mid Indian. We were just at.
So
We
you
were
could be
just
exposed to other people. They stopped your
They
boat.
stopped your boat?
yeah. Well, it was actually kind of quite big issues. It was so. Whilst it all kind of happened, we were going from Fremantle, not going from around Sydney, and we were going up to Qingdao in China, but we had to stop in the Philippines. So the whole fleet got stopped, and we had to go and like quarantine in the Philippines. I mean, it's a nice place, but all of us basically we had to kind of got sent back home. We all, and then there was this one guy who was the captain of Punta del Este. I've forgotten his name. He was such a character. He was Italian, and he was yeah, captain of Punta del Este, and he got to stay there for the whole of COVID and maintain the boats. I mean, just what a
Why didn't
lucky
they
guy.
just leave you on the boats?
So yeah, I know.
Offshore.
Uh,
Offshore.
Yeah, exactly. Offshore. I know. So many of us would have been so happy to have done that, but I think they just had Clipper would have had an issue of trying to get us to get food out to us, etc. I mean, it would have been the perfect place to quarantine. Could you imagine? And I didn't have this yacht at the time. I had loads of friends that quarantined down in this marina. Well, I had friends that I've made now that have told me about their time that I've made since I've had this yacht and I've been moored here. And they said they quarantined down here, and they just said it was just ideal because they're in this like little hub, and they could go and like flit about between each other's boats and actually like interact. And you're in a salty environment. You're in the most uh, what is the word I'm looking for? It's just sterile. It's so clean because when you go to sea, if you're in the middle of an ocean, you don't pick up a cold. You can't physically pick up a cold. The only colds you'll have out there are the ones that you take out with you. If you
Uh-oh.
take a cold out there,
Throws
it'll
up.
get around
Or
the
is it
whole
me that
crew.
throws up?
But
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure. Maybe it was
On
me.
your
But
back.
when you
On your
go out,
back.
when you're in the middle of an ocean,
Yeah.
the only cold that you will get is the cold that you take out to sea with you. Once everyone's had it, you won't get another cold, and it's very sterile. You can't get don't get ill. You don't get ill. You literally don't get ill. You can be as cold as you like. You can be as,
Amazing.
but you don't get ill. So it's a very clean environment.
What a
So
great decision to stop the race. Okay. I
yeah,
won't harp too hard on that. But so we're almost out of time here. We've been on here for just over an hour. Let's see if I've missed anything. Tell your business. I like to give you a
oh
chance to plug your business.
yeah, okay. So waterfront penthouses. So it's building floating homes. So building floating apartments, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom floating homes. I've just started a TikTok up about it, literally 4 or 5 days ago. It's called Waterfront Penthouses. But prior to that, I used to be a canal boat builder. So I used to build canal boats. I started off restoring some, and then I realised I had the knowledge to pump out brand new ones. So I pumped out brand new canal boats with my old company.
Is there a website for that? I'll pull it up.
Well, I've now only got, because I stopped it, I've now only got my Facebook, which is not my Facebook, but the old business Facebook, which is called Patching Jones. So PATCHING and then Jones. And that was, when I did my canal boats, and I did that for about 7 years, pumped out some new ones. But I also realized that people were buying my boats and then taking them to the marina and then never motoring them anywhere and just not actually using them. They were like scared to take them out and scratch them. So anyway, that was up in the Midlands that I was doing that, where they have a lot of canals. So now I've moved to Brighton. They have no canals down here. They've got very heavy tidal rivers and lots of inlets. And so what I've done is I've gone sideways with my business and gone from building these canal boats to doing floating homes. And also it helps out with the crisis that we've kind of got in the UK, which is affordable housing. So you can pick up a flat in Brighton will cost you, say, £300,000. It's not cheap, and that's just like, say, for a 1 bed studio flat. Whereas you get my floating apartments for between 120 to 142,000
Oh,
pounds.
nice.
So and they're 2-bed, and you're on the water. They're made. The frames are stainless steel, all with really high quality materials, and I believe they're just built to last, basically.
Well, and where can you moor them?
So you can moor them. You can moor them in marinas, on rivers. Some people have got the mooring. They've got a property that backs onto a canal or a river, and where their property meets the water's edge, they have the mooring rights on their land, so they can just park one on there. They can also go. Some
What are
people
the
have got.
dimensions of the homes?
So they're the smallest one is 3 meters by 10 meters, and then the largest one's 3 meters by 14.5 meters long. So they're both 3 meters wide, and they've got a mezzanine floor. So they've got an upper deck for sun lounging, and then there's a little bit of deck. They've got a 2 meter deck on the bow, and then they've got a 1 meter or just shy of 1 meter deck on the on the entrance end. So on the entrance end, it's got a shallow kind of 80 centimeter deep where you step onto the boat, and then you go inside, and then on the it's not a boat, it's a floating hut. Although you can have an additional console put on the bow and a motor put on the back, and they can be motorized. So there's pictures on the TikTok account, Waterfront Penthouses.
I saw
you can see them.
some of these pictures on his at Sailing with Storm at TikTok. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and go there. That's the best place to see pictures because they are pretty cool. They look very modern, contemporary.
And the website is going live very soon. So I will have a website. So yeah, it's Waterfront Penthouses. .com, but give it a week and that will be live.
Oh, okay. Waterfrontpenthouses.com. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you forget that, just go to at Sailing with Storm.
Yeah, and I'll be that's it. I'll be promoting it on my TikTok account a little bit. So yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. We've been on here for just a little over an hour. Thank you so much for coming on. So much fun.
That's right. It's been a pleasure.
Your area there. And
thank you so much. Oh, thank you. And I'm going to keep up with you as well. I'm going to definitely follow the other podcast as well. What was it again? The beach.
Getting Beachy podcast.
Getting Beachy, that's it. So I'm definitely going to. I'm just going to
sign up. It's pronounced like a southerner in the United States. Getting, Gettin, no G on the end.
Oh, okay, very cool, very hip.
So I want to know. I want an update on when you. I want to get you back on here when you go to the Mediterranean or the Caribbean or any of those places. Okay.
And Storm will definitely be with me. I'll have Storm with me, and you can meet her and
perfect.
Let you suffer her for a little bit. So
I hope she was watching.
Yeah, I do as well. I think she will be. So it's it's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. Great to get to know you. And the way I always end all my videos since 2015 is to say salty abandon out.